Hello everybody, my name is Kellen. I'm the field sales manager for Altorfer Caterpillar in Chicago. We're coming to you today from the Edwards Proving Grounds outside of Peoria, Illinois, to talk to you a little bit about the new Caterpillar D6 XE LGP tractor. With us today, I have Sam Meeker, who is the product specialist for track type tractors and track type loaders. Sam, let's talk a little bit about what we did with this tractor to make the improvements from the predecessing D6T.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned D6T, and I'm sure that that's a lot of questions that you get from customers is how does this line up with the old D6T? And it's something we were actually just talking about. We got two different gauges that would be kind of the mainstay in the Altorfer territory, and that's going to be the D6T LGP 30-inch tractor, which kind of would have lined up with the old XW, and then your LGP 36-inch tractor with the 36-inch shoes, which would have lined up with the old D6T LGP. And I'm sure that's what you see with a lot of your job sites in your area, right?
Oh, completely. A lot of our customers, I mean, everybody's all about power, but at the end of the day, ground pressure is one of the biggest concerns for a lot of our customers on their job sites. Underfoot conditions can be challenges every day, and they can also actually cause a lot of slow times for a lot of our customers. With us today, we got the new D6T. This is our 36-inch shoe, or wide gauge, as some of us refer to it as. This comes set up with 36-inch shoes, a 94-inch gauge, as well as a 14-foot one, nearly 6.5 cubic yard blade. Sam, when it came to the blade, there's a lot of improvements that come with this blade from the former D6T. Can you tell us a little bit about what Caterpillar did to strengthen this blade and offer a better product for our customers?
Yeah, you bet. And really kind of bouncing off of that gauge and ground pressure, the whole idea behind this was to try to balance this tractor out and give us a better platform and a new blade to go on it, especially in terms of the V-pad as well too. So there's a lot of areas that we've improved and changed on this tractor. A couple things you kind of start off with are going to be the base arrangement of the machine. You notice that we no longer have the vertical lift cylinders on here. We dropped those down, we slid that weight back further into the tractor, which gave us a little less nose heavy, right? Got us back more into that 50-50 type of balance. At the same time, we're able to completely redesign the C-frame here, taking that old, flat C-frame with the vertical tower, and now we've got kind of an upper and a lower C-frame in here. And those two provide a stronger C-frame, and it also gives us the opportunity to have a greater angle and a greater tilt as well too. And we know when guys are, doing site prep and road construction type work, they oftentimes need to get that extra angle and that extra tilt to get the job done. So on top of that, brand new redesigned blade shell as well too. You'll notice that it's deeper. The cells in the cross section here is thicker than it was before, which is where we get a lot of our strength. And it also has more cells as you work your way down the back of the blade as well too. And all new strength enhancing components on the backside tying into the ball, the push ball, and the angle cylinders as well too. So all of that was redesigned to give us a more higher capacity blade, but also a stronger blade that's able to do more of that heavy work that your customers get into.
No, that's awesome, Sam. All those things sound great. With, you mentioned some of the things going on in the back of the tractor. Why don't we walk around here really quick and we can talk a little bit about some of the changes we've made to the roller frame as well as the new XE design.
Absolutely.
So Sam, we talk about the new D6, and obviously one of the biggest talking points that we get from customers is what is the XE all about? Now Caterpillar is not new to electric drive tractors, but this is a new design with the new D6 XE. Can you talk to us a little bit about how this is designed and why it's beneficial for the tractor?
Yeah, you bet. So for quite a few years now, actually, we've had the D7E, and so the D6 XE is a whole new redesign of that electric drive system. And it kind of starts with the engine, right? 9.3B engine. You've got a generator directly on the backside of that, being run by that engine. The electricity goes into an inverter on the backside, and then it goes down into a single motor in the powertrain. And that motor spins to take the tractor forward, and it reverses direction to pull the tractor in reverse. Now, steering is accomplished with a hydraulic differential steering system, very, very similar to the steering system in a standard D6 or in D7, D8T, D9, any of those tractors. So very, very, similar type of technology that we've got, in terms of steering with the other machines. But of course, the XE is a whole different level of performance when you take a look at the tractor.
Gotcha. When we talk about performance, Dan, I mean, this is 50,000 pounds of hardcore steel on the ground. How is it that electric drive compares to what our standard D6 is currently putting out when we look at performance?
Good comment, good question there. I mean, because you think about it, and a dozer is all about weight, drawbar pull, and the blade size, and you're only going to get so much performance out of those three combinations together. What we've done with the XE is we've been able to affect that drawbar pull metric in there, and more importantly, it's not the upper end of it, right? So max drawbar pull between an XE and a standard D6 are going to be pretty similar, but it's all of the stuff in the middle, right? I mean, it's those 1.5 to 2.0 to 2.5 speed ranges where the XE gets greater torque and has greater speed under load than a traditional D6. And in terms of performance, that's where a lot of your customers spend a lot of time spreading truckloads of material, finish grading, and all of those type of applications. And that's where the XE really pulls away from a traditional D6 in terms of performance, is in that mid-speed range. And at the same time, fuel economy, right? I mean, that's an area where the D6 really shines in fuel economy, because it's able to keep that engine RPM lower and use significantly less fuel compared to a D6 or even a high stat unit in those mid-speed ranges. And that's where we get the efficiency out of it as well, too.
That's a great point, Sam. So we do talk about fuel efficiency, and obviously that's one of the key talking points for everybody in the industry right now, is the fuel savings that the XE is bringing. Now, we do talk about different premiums every day when we talk about Caterpillar tractors, but what do we talk about when it comes to the payback of the XE directly related to the fuel burn of this tractor?
Yeah, so a lot of customers obviously concerned with making sure that they can pay back this tractor. So we designed the machine really to give the user the most payback in that, let's call it 1 to 3 year time frame. If you're really putting the hours on it, in that 2,500 hour a year, and really keeping that utilization up high, you could be in that 1.5 to 2 year range. Typical customer, maybe in Chicagoland, putting 1,200 to 1,600 hours a year on a few less hours. Now you're looking into that 2.5 year time frame. Fuel consumption compared to a traditional D6, again, side-by-side applications, you're looking at maybe 10-15% less. If you're comparing to an older D6T, I mean, it can be up to 30-35% less.
Wow,
in fuel
those are
consumption.
impressive numbers, Sam.
And not even stepping into the longevity features built into this tractor. I mean, the D6 XE was made to be rebuilt. So, when you get into that 15,000 hour time frame, when you do that rebuild of the engine and the transmission's significantly less expensive to rebuild. There's basically 4 bearings to rebuild, no clutches, no discs in there. So pretty significant reduction in rebuild. For a customer that does want to keep this tractor and put that second engine in it and get that second life out of it, there's a lot of value in that as well, too.
So it sounds like not only improving the tractor, but we also improve serviceability as an overall for a total life of the tractor.
Yeah, you bet. And even your regular maintenance intervals on this, the electric drive has longer maintenance intervals and less fluids in the transmission of the tractor as well, too. So all of that, again, just adding on to that lower O&O cost that we see with the D6 XE.
God, that's amazing. That's awesome stuff. Great stuff, Sam. Thank you all for watching us a little bit to talk about the D6 XE tractor and some of the improvements that we put in it. Feel free to reach out to your Altorfer sales rep, or maybe even stop into one of our locations when you have time. We'd love to talk to you a little bit about putting one of these on your job sites and making you more efficient every day. Thanks for stopping by.